All right, so before I say goodnight, I wanted to post one last video. And I wanted to talk about something very interesting. I wanted to talk about, and this is a big hypothetical for me. And the big hypothetical for me is if we all, okay, so here's the thing. Some people claim that we should live in an individualized world where each and every person that you deal with should be individualized. So, Sam, in about 7 days ago, borrowed $10 from you, or you paid the bill for dinner because he forgot his card and he claimed he would pay you back, let's say $50, right? Sam has not paid you $50. You called Sam, he said he's gonna pay you. You sent him a text, he said he's gonna pay you. And you called him again to follow up, and he's not picking up his phone or answering his messages anymore. Should we individualize Sam? Give him a special little place for Sam, so Sam can, so we can deal with Sam uniquely. I don't think the world can work like that. You know, even if at one point it could, the fact is that our population has gotten so goddamn high. I mean, we're at like 10 billion or something of a world population at least. You know what I mean? We can't individualize everything. But here's the concept that I was playing with in my mind. What if we grouped everything up? All right, so let's say in Chicago, trying to think of something. Let's say there was a bit of an issue between let's say a black gang and a Latin gang, for example, right? And they had some kind of issue, and it's been going on for a while. Does that mean that we all have an issue? And now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe, yeah, maybe we do have an issue. And I'm speaking hypothetically on this, but let's say that it starts really small. Okay, maybe I should think of something else. Let's use it. I don't know what else I can use it for. You know. Okay, let's say I'm working for a super. Trying to think of something here. I'm working for a convenience store. Okay, Becker's. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whatever it's called. Fuck. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm working for a convenience store. Okay, and there's another convenience store. Now we had a deal, right? According to our suppliers and everything, we got a deal of certain things that we don't sell and they don't sell. Now they start selling our stuff. What do? Do we start selling their stuff? What happens exactly, right? It may start off as an issue between my convenience store and his convenience store or her convenience store. But we are part of a larger, like our convenience stores are owned by different owners in particular and are two different companies. Is it possible that the problem will spill out that far up? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It could be all nationwide. You could be in New York and have an issue in one part of New York. It could spread to other districts. It could be all the 5 boroughs of New York. Eventually, it could be Chicago. It could be Atlanta. It could be Miami. It could be LA. It could be Texas. It could be Houston. It could be any other place. It could become a nationwide issue between these two giants. That's the idea I was playing with, right? Let's say I'm threatening, right? I'm threatening in the way that guys are worried whenever their girlfriends are around, right? Or girls are around, they're worried that I'm gonna make them look bad. You know, and not that I'm meaning to do it or anything, but maybe they think I'm gonna, make them feel like, or make them look like less in front of women. You know what I mean? Even a woman that they're dating, and they got a larger fear that maybe he's gonna bang my girlfriend. You know what I mean? And maybe somebody in the past did that. Now, how am I supposed to feel about that? You know, are you like labeling me on my fucking forehead as being as banging other people's girls or their women? Is that what you're labeling my head with? What does that mean? Because if a guy's banging your girl, are all the guys who bang other guys' girls gonna band together? If not, what I want to explain to you is if that's totally absurd, it's totally absurd to blame a guy who's done nothing to you. Do you see what I mean? I showed you a legit issue that can spill and become larger, and I showed you a smaller issue. When it comes to nations, it's a big thing. But you gotta understand, when it comes to nations, it's gotta be very nation specific. You know what I mean? Like Egypt and Ethiopia is a real issue because Ethiopia is already closing the dam, which is to the historic Nile River, which is by their capital city, Cairo, right? That's a specific issue. Would it make all of Africa and all of Arab Africa and go to war? I don't think so. I don't think it will. You know what I mean? It might cause animosity. See, I'm giving you another example. It might cause animosity. And whenever a Moroccan, a Tunisian, an Algerian, even a Jordanian, whenever they meet, let's say, a Sudani, Somali, Kenyan, Ugandan, or whatever they meet, they may feel animosity, right? They might see each other, kind of give each other looks, not be a little rude to each other. Just, there'd be a little, tension. You know what I mean? And they may even go different ways and not want to fuck with each other, right? There might be a little bit of animosity that spills out. But more than that, but specifically, that's a specific issue between those two. That's an issue between those two, right? Now, you really gotta know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with, right? It's one thing if my convenience store and this guy's convenience store is having an issue. But if, let's say, I have no issue with this convenience store, which is maybe across the street or 2 blocks down or 3 blocks down, right? This rival convenience store, I know the owner, right? The owner knows who I am, right? We both know we're part of 2 different organizations. Now, this owner, let's say he's having no issue with me, right? Let's say his boss, who is the boss of the whole fucking organization, the one at the top of this whole nationwide organization of convenience store company, has an issue with me, and he directs this convenience store to have an issue with me, right? What would eventually happen? And listen, let me explain something to you. When you're a ghost, no one owns you, and you don't claim to be owned by anyone. You understand what I'm saying? Ghosts at any level, Blackwater, security, high intelligence agents, right? These guys will never say what organization they're part of. No organization claims them. They are on missions, like ghost missions. It might sound funny to you to see a child living as a ghost. You might say, who does this kid think he is? He thinks he's an intelligence agent. Listen, man, I gotta tell you, there's some bright kids out there, man. There are some prodigies out there. There's kids who play piano who are better than Mozart, man. Mozart at his peak. Okay, so don't underestimate children, first of all. But here's the thing. The ghost life is different because you're not claiming anybody. Nobody's claiming you. When people fuck with you, it's kind of like one-on-one or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. And you might even ruin them, even in that situation as a ghost. But here's the thing. You're a visible person. You're present, right? He knows you. You know him. When he gets directed to fuck with you, it is only natural. And I'm not saying your boss will do the same back. Yeah, that's a given. I'm saying that him interfering with your shit may just cause the whole fucking industry to go into a fucking loopy loop. You know what I mean? Why is this fucking CEO, boss, owner, everything of an organization fucking with a small convenience store owner from another company? What the hell is going on? You know what people will think in all upper, lower, mid, in every industry? People will think that this guy is a fucking imbecile. They're gonna think he's a fucking jerk. They're gonna think he's an asshole. And it's gonna cause a lot of ripple effects. It's gonna cause a lot of issues all over because you know what? If anybody's gonna be backing him up or supporting him, Even publicly, people just supporting him. Oh, he's part of our country or whatever it is, right? Maybe he's from a foreign country. Oh, he's part of our country. You know, naturally it's gonna get big. Naturally, it's gonna get big. My second point is you gotta know who you're fucking with. Okay? You see, at one point, these big time guys in this world, people who you just are scared to fuck with, at one time they were coming up, right? We have that slack. If I have potential, but right now I'm a convenience store owner and you're fucking with me, dude, you're kind of just laying the coals to your own flame that's gonna burn you. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? So that's what I was thinking. What if problems were bigger? You know, what if somebody fuck with me and they go, but let's say they intentionally were like, man, I want to fuck with the maniac Latin disciples, man. I want to fuck with the disciples. I want to see what the disciples have. And you know what? I got police backing me. So let's see what the disciples have. And then you're fucking with me, not knowing who I'm connected to or what connections I have. And now you're fucking with me. You know what? People in this world can't be that bold. Even knowing how serious an offense can be, they will cause an offense. You know, typically smarter, more people who are a bit proud and smart, they typically tend to be a bit smart and to understand the situation. But you may get an idiot of that magnitude who is willing to go to those lengths, who is willing to cause a fucking war just because they dislike one person. And I'll tell you, man, the comings after for people like that is not good at all. It is not good. And it can ruin like entire places. Like it's very serious, and you have to understand that. You see, my rule always in life was that, you know, I only fuck with what I have to fuck with. I'm a laid back guy. I'm proud. I stick in my territory, and I stick to my box, and I stick to my corner, and I stick to my business, and I stick to my organization, and that's it. Nothing more than that, right? And I stick with other aspects of my life because my life is beyond just an organization. So all I want to say is, if you really wanna, you know, you gotta think twice. But sometimes I have a feeling that there are people stupid and hard-headed and stubborn enough in life, out of jealousy or out of a small issue with one person, be able to set off like destruction. You know. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Say goodnight, and I'll leave the rest to be thought of or thought about or reflected or just or whatever the case is.